Good day everyone. Today we will present Module 3, Crude Commands and Advanced Commands. In this presentation, we'll cover how SQL commands like create, read, update, delete, and advanced operation are used to manage and organize databases effectively.
CRUD commands and advanced commands. CRUD create, read, update, delete. Commands are fundamental operation in database management system, enabling users to interact with and manipulate data efficiently, with advanced commands offering enhanced functionality for complex tasks. Says here, CRUD is a fundamental tool in creating management system, enabling user to create, read, update, and delete data. For example, in a student management system, it allows adding new student, viewing their details, updating information like grades, and removing inactive record, ensuring efficient data management. In the next slide, we will present the CRUD commands that make this operation possible.
Create database. A CRUD database where the create operation involves designing structure to add new records to a database such as inserting user or product data into tables. This operation ensures proper data validation and storage in predefined fields within the database schema. Database is a container that will hold all your tables and data. The process for creating database depending on the DBMS you are using. For example, we are using MySQL. We use the commands like create database, database name semicolon.
Use command. Switches to the specified database, making it the active database for subsequent commands. This means the use command selects a database, making it default for all queries. Once this command is executed, all SQL statements, such as select, insert, and update, will be applied to the selected database.
Create table. Create table creates a new table with specified columns and their data types. So basically, databases are used to store and organize information in a structured way. In SQL, we use the create table statement to create a new table where we can store data. A table is like a container that holds different pieces of information in columns and rows. When creating a table, we need to give it a name and decide what kind of data it will store. Each table consists of columns, and each column has a name and a data type. A data type tells the database what kind of information can be stored in that column, such as numbers, text, or dates. The basic format for creating a table can be seen in the guide section. The table name will serve as the name of your table, and the column 1 and column 2 will be the name of your columns that will store your data. And data type is the type of data that can be stored in each column like integer for numbers and variable character or varchar for text. Look at the example. If we want to create a table for the information of students, we can write create table, then information management for the table name. Then, we use open and close parentheses. Inside it, we will have the columns. First one is the ID column, which will store number, that's why we use integer. It is marked as primary key, which means the students must have different and unique IDs. Next is the name column that will store text, that's why we use varchar, allowing names to 100 characters long. After the close parentheses, don't forget the semicolon to end the program. The create table command is very important because it helps organize data in a structured way. It ensures that information is stored correctly and can be easily retrieved when needed. By defining columns and data types, we can prevent errors and make our database more efficient.
Insert into adds a new row of data to the specified table with the specified values. Sa pag-insert naman ng data dito, gumamit lang tayo ng info into statement. Sa table natin na information management, so Naglagay lang tayo ng mga data sa ID, name, and email.
Read and select retrieves data from one or more columns of a table based on a specified condition. The select command is SQL is used to retrieve data from a database. It allows you to specify which columns you want to see from a specific table by using the keyword select, followed by the column name. You can filter the data with the where clause to meet the certain condition, and you can also sort the data using the ordered by clause. Additionally, you can limit the number of row returned using limit in simple and select commands is how you ask database to show you the data you're interested in. For example, ginagamit ito sa pag-search, like YouTube. Kapag mag-search ka, you can see what, ang mafi-filter niya kung ano yung hinahanap mo. And guide for command is select column 1, column 2, from table name or condition. For example, select star from StudInfo, select star from course. This retrieves all the columns and records from the course table and StudInfo table. Example number 2, select star from StudInfo where age greater than 20. This command will give you all the data for students whose age are greater than 20.
Update modifies existing data in a table based on a specified condition. The update statement in SQL is used to modify existing records in a table. You specify the table name, the column or columns to update, and a condition to determine which records should be changed. But always use a where clause to avoid changing all arrows unintentionally.
Delete. Delete is used to remove one or more records from a table. It is a data manipulation language command that permanently deletes data based on the specified condition in the where clause. If the where clause is omitted, all records in the table will be deleted. In this guide that flashed on our screen, the delete from table name or deleting all rows from the table, this command removes all records from the table without deleting the table structure itself. After executing this, the table will be empty. Next, delete a specific row from a table. These commands remove only the rows that satisfy the specified condition in the where clause. For example, in the image na nasa baba, this delete all the data from the student info or student info table but keeps the table structure. So this commands removes only the rows that satisfy the specified condition in the where clause. This deletes the record where student ID equals 3 from the student info table. So if no row matches the condition, no deletion occurs. Now, take note, if where is not used, all rows will be deleted. Always use the where clause carefully to avoid accidental data loss.
Okay, alter table statement is used to modify the structure of an existing table in a database. It allows you to add, delete, or modify columns, rename columns or the table itself, and apply or drop constraints like primary keys or foreign keys. For example, you can add a new column using alter table name, add column name, data type.
Drop table and database. If you want to delete a specific table and all the data inside it, you should use drop table followed by the table's name. This only removes that particular table but keeps the rest of the database intact. On the other hand, if you want to remove an entire database, including all its tables and stored data, you should use drop database followed by the database name. This command erases everything inside the database, so it should be used with caution. For example, By executing the SQL code drop database college DB semicolon, this code will permanently delete the college database along with all the data that it contains. In simpler term, the drop table deletes an existing table and removes all data stored in it, while the drop database deletes an entire database including all its tables and data.
Normalization. Normalization is database design technique that organizes data in a relational database to reduce redundancy and improve data integrity. The goal of normalization is to eliminate data anomalies that may arise due to redundant storage of information. The process involves breaking down a large table into smaller, related tables and defining relationship between them.
Sinasabi dito, normalization is a way to organize data in database to reduce duplication and ensure accuracy. And sa process na ito, nape-prevent yung mga errors at cheap yung mga data kasi well-structured na ito.
Personal form, all rows must be unique. Well, what does that mean? Each row in the table must be unique and therefore there cannot be any duplicate rows in the table. So you can't have two different rows where all of the data contained within those rows is identical and each cell must only contain a single value. So you can have a table that is a list of value in the cell. And lastly, each value should be non-divisible, which means that if you got if you got something in a cell, you can't break that down into further sensible parts. So let's have a look at an example of each of those. Next. So each row has to be unique. So let's look. Here we've got a table of takeaway orders here and we've got customer name and a customer ID. So for instance, Bob Jones orders here, he ordered burger, fries, and Coke. Fred ordered nuggets, lemonade, and fries. And then Bob also ordered burger, fries, and Coke. Now, we can't tell the difference between this row 1 and row 3. So, we have no idea, for instance, which order was ordered first. No idea at all. So, di natin masasabi or malalaman kung sino sa kanila ang naunang nag-order. So, we need to change that because they need to be uniquely identifiable. And the way we do that is we just add an order ID column. So as we can see here in the solution, here order ID number 1, all that was Bob Jones and he ordered his favorite. There order number 2 was Fred's and he ordered all of those. And then the final order was Bob Jones and he ordered his favorite order again. There is so because we got the order ID that row number 1 is now no longer identical to row number 2. Next. Let's have a look. Each cell must only contain a single value. Well, as you can see in the problem 2, this cell here doesn't contain a single value. It contains 3 items, price, and Coke. So what we need to do is we need to move those into a separate table so that each row only has 1 item and sum. This table here has an order ID in one column and the item corresponding to that order ID. There's the order ID 1 as our order ID 1 also has fries and order ID 1 also has a Coke. There and as you can see, each item in this table now is unique and there's no multiple values per cell here, so that's sorted. Next. All data must be atomic or non-divisible. Well, that's the problem. Well, if you ever look over here at customer name Bob Jones, you can actually see that Bob Jones isn't atomic. It can be divided further into Bobs into his first name and last name. So, kailangan natin separate or create a column for the first name and column for their last name. And you just put them in separate cells. Looks like that. So that's how you put the database table into first normal form. So now let's move on to second form.
Second normal form. Database must be in first normal form. Non-partial dependency, all non-prime attributes should be fully functional, dependent on the candidate key. Problem 1. The presence of partial dependency. As we can see in the table, the course fee depends only on the course ID. To resolve this problem, we separate the table into two. Student, containing columns, student ID and course ID. And the table 2 is course table, two course table, containing columns, course ID and course fee. This normalization eliminates partial dependency and improves database efficiency.
Third normal form. Database must be in first and second normal form. Before we get started with third normal form itself, let's quickly go over the prerequisites. For a database to be in third normal form, it must already meet the requirements for first and second normal forms. First normal form ensures that each column contains atomic values, while second normal form eliminates partial dependencies, ensuring that all non-key attributes are fully dependent on the entire primary key. No transitive dependencies. All fields must only be determined by the primary key or composite key, not by other keys. Now let's talk about the core idea behind third normal form. Eliminating transitive dependencies. In simpler terms, this means that every non-key field in a table must only be dependent on the primary or composite key and not on other non-key fields. To visualize this about a file system, each file has a tag like invoices or clients, and the organization must ensure that each file is identified only by that tag, not other labels or relationships. Let's take a look at an example to better understand transitive dependencies. In this table, we have a composite key made up of the tournament and year, and the table includes the winner and the winner's date of birth. The problem here is that the winner's date of birth is a transitive dependency on the winner. This means that instead of directly determining the winner's birth date from the primary key, it relies on the winner field, creating redundancy. To resolve this, we separate the data into two tables. The first table contains the tournament year and winner. This eliminates the redundancy. The second table holds the winner and their corresponding date of birth, which is now directly tied to the winner key, ensuring that the birth date is only recorded once. This approach helps avoid redundant data and keeps the database in third normal form.